Hey y'all, it's your friendly neighborhood panda here, back again for another episode. And if you are seeing this intro right here, you're in for something special today. You are here because you want to see my reaction to the Troy Saga for Epic the Musical. But here's the catch. Here's the extra little special spice you don't know about. See, a couple of weeks ago, I was actually able to get the great opportunity to do this as a collaboration with another reactor here on the channel, on YouTube, DJ410. And you see, what we did was, because of time zones and all those other things, we decided to sit down that day and record our reactions to all 5 songs of the Troy Saga for Epic the Musical. But we're only going to release 1 song a week. So I thought I'd put this intro out there so when you see this intro, you know that's what you're in for, okay? Now, you're going to be able to see 1 song in this episode, and you'll have to come back next week to see the next one. But if you want to see all 5 of our reactions to all 5 of the songs from the Troy Saga, go check out my Patreon. I'm going to release those all at the same time, all at once, on the Patreon. So for $5 or the $10 tier, either one, you can get you that early release access, and you'll be able to see them all at once. But for now, we're going to get into one of the songs from the Troy Saga, all right? And I want you to, if you like what you see and you want to see more, go and hit that like button, that subscribe, and the bell notification so you can see when the next episode comes out, all right? And go check out DJ's channel. You're going to love it. We have a lot of fun, all right? So let's get into this.
I'm not sure which direction she's in, but
so
Panda, yes. I am loving this so far. I am so excited to get into the next episode. As we said in the last episode, guys, we weren't going to wait for this. We are filming these consecutively. We need to see them right away. So, there's a very good chance, by the way, I'll put it on the screen if it's the case, but there's a very good chance that these have gone up on Patreon, on either mine or Panda's or both Patreons in advance. So if they have, I'll put it here where you can find them if you want to see all 5 episodes in advance. But either way, we are going to get into this in just a moment. This is full speed ahead, and with where the last song left off, I don't know what to expect from this one. Not gonna lie.
I don't at all, because I mean, especially with the title of it, it's like, okay, if you've seen our previous things, it's like, okay, he's had this whole conflict and he's poised on the end of, does he do it? I mean, he's ready. In the next few seconds, he's either going to do it or not. And so full speed ahead, what does that mean? Exactly. Full speed ahead, he does it and he's got to face the consequences, or he doesn't, and now he's got to fight. I have no idea.
Yeah, so it's a very interesting choice of song title, but the song titles so far have been really on point. So curious to get into this one. We're going to check it out right now. As always, guys, check out the original linked in the description below. Go and give it all the love, give it likes and comments, and subscribe to the original artist. Also, check it out without all the pauses and interruptions, because by now you should know there's going to be a lot of them. So check it out without all the interruptions, and we're going to get
sorry,
into
not
this.
sorry?
Yeah, sorry, not sorry at all, because it's a reaction video. You'll expect it. But yes, let's get into this. This is full speed ahead. Let's go.
Men, 600 men under my command, with only one goal in mind:
make it back alive to our homeland.
600 men, 600 miles of open sea. But the problem's not the distance,
it's what lies in between.
And Ithaca's waiting, my kingdom is waiting.
Alright, so I'm gonna put it out there. I think that, and we might be wrong, I might be wrong here, but I'm reasonably sure that what we're meant to have taken away was at the end of the last song when he's saying, I'm sorry, I'm just a man, or forgive me, I'm just a man. He's decided to not murk the child. A very reasonable
That's
decision.
What I'm thinking.
Because
that's what I'm thinking. I mean,
yeah,
he's saying that now he's got so much more. Gosh, kidding. He's got so much more now. He's saying that it feels like there's so much more obstacles in his way than there were before.
Yeah.
So
And
if he didn't, and he's got to face the consequences of not, as put by the gods, it makes sense that there would be.
yeah, and it feels like this one's a shift up from it's no longer focused on whatever's happening with the baby. It's now I've got 600 men to get home. That's where we're focused now. We've moved on from that. So again, as a stage show, I don't know if there'd be speaking parts in between these sections and we moved on to the next song now, or if the whole show would be done in a way where it's like a Les Miserables type thing of all sung, all songs.
Mm-hmm.
The entire story is told through song. But in terms of where we are now, it's definitely more about the journey home has begun, or at least it's beginning. We've got 600
Right.
people to get home. We've got a long way to go. Let's get this thing going. Full speed ahead. Makes a lot more sense now. So yeah,
Sure.
I think that we expected something different when it was like where it was left off. But again, that's I think the difference between if we'd reacted to the animatic versions would have been that where it left off, we would have seen, I don't know, maybe him drop his sword because he couldn't go through with it, or him pull away from the crib or something like that. Um, yeah, I think that that would have been a key difference. But yeah, we have to roll with what we got because we wanted to react to these new versions and we wanted to make sure that we were giving all the attention to the original artist that's linked to them. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
again, this now that we know where we're getting into this from, now that we know what's happening, and that we've moved on from the whole baby thing, I'm going to take it back and we can really get into and pull apart this song. Let's go.
600 men under my command, with only
But you think I'm sorry to part it so soon. But you can hear I love if you listen to the instruments back in the back, okay, and some of the percussion, it sounds like waves on a shore.
Yeah, yeah. I was thinking that
So
it's
that makes sense with where we think it's going. Is the now they're moving on from that.
yeah, and I don't necessarily know
But I
if
think
it's
that's pretty cool.
I don't necessarily know if it's meant to be
It's
waves on the
subtle.
shore or waves hitting a boat, but yeah,
Yeah,
it's definitely gives it that water theme of okay, we're moving on now. Yeah.
yeah. Okay, I'll start it back
Yep.
again. But I was like, that's a subtle, very genius move.
Yeah.
600 men, 600 men under my command, with only one goal in mind.
Make it back alive to our homeland.
600 men, 600 miles of open sea. But the problem's not the distance,
It's what lies in between.
and Ithaca's waiting.
Ithaca's waiting.
My kingdom is waiting. Penelope's waiting for me. So full speed ahead.
I didn't need to take a second, but I'm pausing a lot, but the vocals, man. Oh my god,
Oh yeah.
those big notes. All the way from the Ithaca's waiting, Penelope's waiting, I think it was My Kingdom's waiting, or something like I don't know exactly what the lyrics were, but oh my god.
I need to
The
look up. I
ooh,
need to look up the singer in this because
yeah,
they had like we were sitting about with the lyrics and everything. Um, you can tell in the whole it's all full speed ahead. They say, but you can tell it's sort of like he is so tired
yeah,
from all of the fighting he's had to do, but he's also so very hopeful that he sees this when he gets home. He's going to see all of it, and how you manage to put all of that into one vocal line. This person, whoever they are, is talented beyond compare. And I have to look. I'm trying to look up the casting here,
yeah.
so you can keep going as I do that. But
I've gone down to the description here, and it definitely says Full Speed Ahead is the gentleman who's posted and who posts all the epic stuff. I think again I'm going to butcher this pronunciation, but I think it's George, Jorge, George. I'm guessing.
Jorge, Jorge,
Oh, my bad, y'all. This is I am
Spanish.
I am so damn Australian right now. My bad. But yes, Jorge then. Yes. So Jorge is listed. Armando is listed. Got that one right. and Steven. They're the
Okay.
3 names that are listed here. I don't know if it's that Armando and Steven are the ones doing those epic background notes that we heard, the chants in the background there.
Right.
But I think that Jorge is actually the one who has been doing all the singing so far. And if that's the case, my God, sir, taking aside the
Okay,
fact that
they list him, Jorge Rivera Herons is Odysseus, so this guy.
there we go. Yeah,
Polyphemus and the Winions, so several other people, but so he's definitely Odysseus.
yeah. So that this man's vocals are insane. Jorge's vocals are incredible. I'm blown away by them, absolutely blown away. And I want to know, let me know in the comments, has he done more stuff other than Epic? Is this just his big project, or does he have a YouTube channel where he posts other music as well? What's the go with him? Has he done other stuff before this or since this? Let me know, because either way, I'm going to love every single time I hear his voice as I do these epic reactions, but I'd love to know what else he does as well. All right, let's keep going.
Speed ahead, full speed ahead. Captain,
You really cuss.
600 men,
600 men.
600 men with big mouths to feed. And we've run out of supplies to eat.
Curse the war of food stores depleted.
600 men,
600 men.
600 reasons to take what we can. So Captain, what's the plan?
Captain, what's the plan?
Watch where the birds fly.
Watch where the birds
They
fly.
will lead us to land.
They will lead us to land.
There will hunt for food, my second in command. Now for speed ahead.
We're up and away we go.
I'm okay.
I like that.
I love what they're doing there. That we're off and away we go moment is fire.
Mhm.
But I was wanting
You
to
can
pause.
kind of imagine. You can kind of imagine that's the chant that they're using to row, because the boats they used back then, you had to row them.
Yeah, pretty much. You can definitely picture
I like that.
But yeah, taking that side of things aside, I wanted to pause before that just to like point out something sparked in my brain, and I think I know to a point where they're going, and it's not going to end well for them. Because I'm pretty sure they stop in at an island and it does not end well for them. So yeah,
No.
the fact that they've explained this with, okay, we're on our journey, we're off, we have 600 mouths to feed, we've run out of food, we need to do something here.
Yeah.
Look at the birds, watch the birds, they're going to go to land. It's a really
So
smart
now
way
we've
to explain it all.
officially, yeah. So now we've officially switched from the Trojan War, the end of the Iliad,
Yep.
to the beginning of the Odyssey and Odysseus's journey getting stuck for 10 years trying to get home.
Exactly. Yeah.
And I think we might find out why he was stuck for 10 years.
I'm sure that we have sagas and sagas to go through before we find out the whole story of that. But yeah, I'm curious to know where exactly they're going to, because again, in my brain right now, there's something going that like I can remember that they go to an island and something bad happens, and my brain
They go
goes,
to several and something bad happens. So which one is it?
That's
which one came first?
Okay, very fair. Yeah. So yeah, curious to see where this story goes, but the way that they're doing this section here, we're off and on we go, or whatever it was, such a nice sound to it. Let's go.
We're off and away we go. We're off and away we go.
Captain, apologies. Look! There in the distance, I see an island. I see a light that faintly glows. Maybe there are people lighting a fire. Maybe they'll share some food, who knows? Something feels off here. I see fire, but there's no smoke. I say we strike first. We don't have time to waste, so let's break the place and... No. Polities, gear up. You and I'll go ahead.
Okay, so we're talking about, at first, I think it's Polites that he was talking about, the first kid that said, maybe they'll share.
Yeah.
And then Odysseus is like, something's off. I don't know. And then this other guy, I don't know who this, they haven't said his name yet, but he's like, no, we just need to raid the place.
Yeah. I'm not sure who's speaking at what part, but someone's just gone, nah, someone's mad bloodthirsty here. It's just like, nah, we're just gonna go in and take what we want. Okay. Um, very different opinions there because I think I think it's Odysseus
Yeah.
that's trying to be pretty diplomatic. But yeah, either way, I get the feeling that they may end up wishing that they'd taken that route and just run in their guns blazing. Maybe. I don't yeah,
I,
I
mm,
I can't
I don't
imagine this
know.
is going to end well for them, but whether it's because they go aggressive or because they are are not aggressive, I'm not sure which way it goes. Either way,
Well, I'm
yeah,
focusing more on Odysseus's line of something feels off.
yeah, yeah. To have been approaching and to immediately know, like they said, fire but no smoke.
No smoke.
Yeah, I don't know what that could be. Either way, we'll find out. Let's go.
Say we strike first, we don't have time to waste, so let's raid the places.
No, pull the T's, gear up. You and I'll go ahead.
You and I'll go ahead.
We should try to find a way no one ends up dead.
We don't know what's ahead.
Give me till sunrise, and if we don't return, then 600 men can make this whole place burn. Now full speed ahead.
Full speed ahead. Full speed ahead.
We're off, and away we go.
We're up, we're off, and away we go. We're up, we're off, and away we go. We're up, we're off, and full speed ahead.
The freaking vocals that they are doing. I wanted to pause for like the last
Oh, yeah.
minute. I wanted to pause since that's the thing with this musical that y'all don't understand. I have every time I've unpaused this video and every video so far, they say one line and I'm like, I want to pause again to say something because so much happens in every damn second of this thing. The sheer notes that Jose is hitting here are
Those
stunning.
harmonies.
Yeah, yeah.
Those harmonies. Oh my gosh.
And the choice that there was there of like originally it's the full speed ahead being loud in the front and the
Mhm.
we're off and away we go being kind of deep in the background. And then when Odysseus did it, he did the we're off and away we go really high and kind of to the front. And
Right.
it switched back, like it gradually switched back to the full speed ahead being the focus. But for a second there, it was kind of the reverse, which was really, really cool. Yeah, just absolutely bonkers vocals. When he's singing
Yeah, I
like
think
that,
I'm getting I'm getting a little more of a clue of which island that they're on now because only the two of them go
okay.
and check things out first. But
Yep,
again,
well,
if I'm wrong, I'm not going to say anything.
yep, that's the thing. No spoilers for the story, but yeah. What I was gonna say before is you're more the vocal person than I am. So like to kind of get that to have found voices that work this well together and to be hitting
Yes.
those kind of notes is just so freaking impressive. And I guess that's the
Mhm.
advantage of maybe it wasn't the same people, or if it was, it wasn't arranged in the same way on the first recording of these. But now that they've had time to build the saga and get more people involved and grow it,
Mhm.
they've had a chance to come back with these other vocalists and these other styles and just do it to an insane degree.
Well, I get the feeling that whoever it is, he's known them for a while and he's known their vocal abilities because they are very different qualities of voice, each one of them.
Yeah.
But they blend very well together. So either he knows them very well and knows who to highlight and who to put in what thing, or his mastering and editing skills are second to none because he's able to pull it in afterward. Either way, it's really impressive that he's taken so many different vocal timbres and put them to work so well together.
Oh, big time. Definitely. And again, this is another one of those situations where I'd love to know if anyone wants to put in the comments how this was all put together, because I'd love to know if this is like a situation similar to an a cappella group that I react to on the channel called Bass Gang, who are they're all from all over the world. They don't live anywhere near each other, and everything that
Yeah.
they create is created kind of
Kind of like
separately.
us.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of like one person being in America and one person being in Australia. But yeah, I'd love to know whether these people he's collaborating with are all from people he knows or people that are around his location that he can get together with them and work on it, or if this was done like all over the world and all over the internet. because that would just add
Mhm.
such an extra level of awesomeness to it as well for it to be a worldwide project. But let me know either way in the comments, because I'm so interested in what's going on behind the scenes with all this stuff. But we are almost
Mhm.
at the end of this song. Let's get through the last, what, 7 seconds, and we'll
Which
give
is
our
going to
final
take us probably
thoughts.
another 10 minutes.
Yep, pretty much.
Full speed ahead.
Wow, that's literally all there was.
That was a good ending, though. That boom,
Oh, big time. I just feel silly for pausing it when I did. But yeah. Oh my god. Another fire song, another incredible song.
Whew.
And again, it's so interesting to me, the choices that they're making in what they're choosing to base the songs on, because
Mhm.
it's one of those things that feels very kind of, a lot of information was covered in the first one, and then the second one was this spotlight on this moment with the child of, this is an important plot point, remember this type moment.
Mhm.
And then this one
Mhm.
is, now we're setting up for why we're doing what we're doing. We're letting you know
Right.
they're on their way home, they're traveling, they're out of food, full speed ahead. Let's get into the story. And I'm curious to see where it goes next.
And thus far, it's like you say, focusing what they're focusing on. If I remember correctly, the original epic poem focused a lot on the battles and the big climactic plot points in between. It didn't focus so much like these do on the people in between, I don't think I remember much about the baby at all. They don't Odysseus's thoughts are not really put in a whole lot until later on, and especially the talking about the men on the ship and how they're feeling about the whole thing. It just starts whenever they get to the island and what challenges they have to go through to get there. So it's interesting what they're focusing on, more the people than the happenings
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know
definitely. And I feel like that's what sets it aside as the epic, as its own thing compared to the Odyssey, is they're not trying to do a sing-song version of the Odyssey. They're giving you character perspective and adding their own extra layer to it that makes it its own unique thing.
Mhm.
And it's always a really cool thing when you kind of get uh, that kind of artistic take on these things, where it's like,
Mhm.
yeah, maybe this wasn't exactly what it was in history, or maybe this wasn't exactly what it was originally, but we're doing an artist interpretation of it, and we're giving these characters their own voice to speak with. uh and you see it in a lot of musicals that are kind of history based, especially like to a ridiculously blown up degree in something like Six, where
Oh
all
yeah.
we really know about Henry's wives is divorced, beheaded, died, divorced, beheaded, died. Survived, sorry. But they give them like a full story, and like, how accurate that
Mhm.
is, probably not very
Not
much.
really.
Yeah, not at all. But at the same time, it makes it so interesting to have had these
Hmm.
bases for these characters and be able to flesh them out and make them give them their own thoughts and their own actual lives and their own like world that they live in. It's such a brilliant place to build a musical from. So yeah, he's been a genius with the decision to how he's built this, and
Hmm.
I'm absolutely adoring it.
Yeah, this is wonderful. It's like we've not seen a single visual, and I'm just waiting to start again. Just
Yeah, and
it's
that's the
amazing.
thing. We haven't seen a single visual, and yet I feel like I have. It's like I'm one of those people. I listen to an audiobook, and it's like I'm watching a movie. I
Hmm.
feel like I see it before my eyes. This is exactly the same thing, and not all songs do that. Not all musicals even do that, where you can just listen to the songs and feel like you're seeing how it would be on stage. With this, I
Hmm.
feel like I am right there and I understand what's going on. So that's such a cool thing. But yes, I hope you guys all enjoyed the reaction and the song. Check out the original linked in below, as we've said before. Also, as always, please leave a like and a comment and subscribe. It helps out the channel so much.